Hi everyone, happy full moon in Scorpio. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the full moon in Scorpio. We're going to talk about some of the energies that you might be experiencing. We will also talk a little bit about some of the other astrological transits that are occurring, and then we'll also look into some questions that you may want to ask yourself or pull some tarot or oracle cards around or meditate on to really make the most of this energy and personalize it to you and what you're going through currently in your own life. Because while we are all living through these transits, they are going to impact each one of us individually based off of where the moon is aspecting in your chart and what other planets it's impacting in your natal chart. But also, everybody has their own flavor of what they're experiencing currently in life. And so when we tap into this energy personally, we can get even deeper insights on how to actually work with it and therefore be able to create reality in the way that we would like to. So, in terms of the Scorpio full moon energy that you may be experiencing, this is definitely a time of transformation. Scorpio is known for transformation. It's known for sexuality, sex. It's known for death and rebirth. It's known for money, and especially when it involves investments or money that comes through another entity or individual. So during this time period and kind of leading up to this time period, these are the kinds of energies that may have been impacting you or have been kind of coming up in you or being asked of you. So I know for me that there's been a lot of like ick kind of happening in my life in all areas of my life. And when that happens, that transformation can be really uncomfortable. But as you kind of sort through the gunk of your life and all of these like things that are coming up, it might just be feelings of like anger. It might be a lot of stressors that are happening, just like coming at you that you're just like, where is this coming from? It can also be like people being underhanded, or you finding out about certain deceptions that have been occurring under the radar that are now coming to light, and that impacting different areas of your life, especially when finances, for example, could be involved. So I've been noticing a lot of that, but what I was receiving is that all of that is, of course, important and the beginning stages of transformation. It's that icky part that spurs you into action, that part that makes you question the current reality that you're living in and the current identity that maybe you've been taking on. So that then when you take a look at that, you can assess whether you want to continue that way or whether it's time for you to shed that old identity and enter into a new pattern of living and a new identity that you want to take on and create better. So that's some of the things that you may be experiencing in that way. And what I'm also getting is that we're kind of moving past the ick now. And as we've been going through the ick, and now that we're moving past it, you may have been getting some directions around your purpose. And so it may be a new purpose, but what I feel is, because of rebirth energy, I guess that's why this is coming through as well, is it may be a purpose that you connected to maybe a few months ago or a few years ago that you let go of. And you thought, you know what, that's not really my path. Like, it hasn't really been working out for me, or I'm just not really feeling connected to that purpose anymore. And so you've been going a different direction. And now that same purpose is coming back and it's calling you again, but in a different way, in a more elevated way. And that's what's wanting to emerge out of you, is that reconnection to your purpose, but maybe in a way that is less ego focused and is more soul focused. And so it's the same direction, but you're going about it in a whole new way. And I do see that as we progress, I do see light. Like, I see that things are going to start working out. Things are going to start falling into place. It suddenly feels brighter, but we do still have to kind of work through that ick, and it will still take some time to get there. Also, you may be experiencing some connection to like sexuality and sex and exploring that differently. You may be opening yourself up more in that region, and trying out some new things or learning a bit more and upping your skills. So that's another thing that can come up during this time. And I have some notes here. That's what I'm looking at right now. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the astrological transits that are happening around this time as well. So as you're looking and thinking about the Scorpio full moon, think about what house it falls in for you. So for me personally, it falls in the 6th house. So that can be around the areas of routine. It can be around the areas of work. It can be around the areas of health. And so I'm definitely seeing it in the areas of work. And then also think about where Taurus is. That would be the opposite side. And that for me is around the area of spirituality, connection, maybe hidden enemies, and like mental health and that kind of area. And why do we want to look at where Taurus hits? And the reason why is because whenever we have a full moon, that means that the sun is on the opposite side of the sky. So because the full moon is in Scorpio and the opposing sign is Taurus, you might also want to look at what is going on in Taurus for you. Now, some other astrological transits that are occurring right now. So we recently had Venus, and it was not currently, but in the very recent past, trined to Pluto, which is in Aquarius. So there are things that we value that were coming to light, and they are connected to transformation because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So is Mars. And so around transformation, and especially in the areas of like humanitarianism and technology. So you may be valuing those things right now more than you have in the past. And those things may be wanting to emerge from you, and that may be how you are elevating your purpose. And then also we have Uranus, which recently moved into Gemini and is also about to trine Pluto as well. So there are going to be some unexpected changes that are more likely going to be of a positive nature, and again will be connected to your sense of purpose and or technology and who you want to be in the world and how you want to elevate the purpose that you were living in the recent past, a few months ago or a few years ago that you've forgotten about, that's kind of re-emerging for you. So there's some of the highlights that I wanted to mention there. And so then the questions. So the questions that you want to ask yourself during this time, you may want to pull some oracle cards or some tarot cards, or you may just want to meditate on these questions. What is wanting to be transformed through me right now? What am I currently struggling with that feels like it's not going to end, that feels like it's just piling on, that actually is an indicator of transformation that I don't yet know is here to come? So how can I look at the things that are piling on right now in a different light? And what is wanting to be emerged through me? And who is emerging through me now? What are the identities that I once held on to, that I'm letting go of in order to be more free? And what is this new identity that I'm wanting to call into my life and I'm starting to embody? And that the transformation is starting to create in me. And how am I elevating myself? What areas of my life, what ways that I am thinking are starting to become elevated? And how can I best align to this new version of who I'm becoming and embodying, and who I am thinking, like how I am thinking, those mental patterns. So these are the kinds of questions you want to ask yourself, and that's a lot of questions. So you may not want to, that may feel a little bit overwhelming. So just really, it's really down to like 2 or 3 questions. What is this transformation that I'm going through teaching me? Who and what is emerging? And how am I elevating? And as you reflect on those 3 questions and start embodying the answers and start looking at your future from this new lens of these changes, you will start shifting the old identity into the new one, because you're now thinking about things differently, embodying things differently. And it will help you through this transformation. And I see good things. So I will leave it here. If you would like me to create a free meditation to help you really harness this energy and call in the answers that are wanting to come out, and really like pull those answers from your soul so that you are aligned to them and you're aligned to what's going on in the sky, let me know and I can create that for you. But otherwise, enjoy the full moon in Scorpio. By the way, it happened, because today's May 1st when I'm filming this, but it happened at 1:23 Eastern. Not my time zone, but it was in Eastern and that's how it showed up. So 123. So I think that's pretty cool too. All right. Love you lots and catch up with you soon.